Good morning, students. In the last video, we have studied about nutrition and various kind of nutrients which are produced by the plants, and we have divided the living organism as according to their mode of nutrition. So we have seen two broad categories. One was autotrophic and another was heterotrophic. So autotrophic mode of nutrition is what? In which an organism make its food itself. It is called autotrophic nutrition, which is the main or the basic function of plants. Other than that, we have seen heterotrophic nutrition, in which an organism derives its food from plant or another animal. Okay, so in the conclusion of all those things, we have seen that every organism on this earth is directly or indirectly dependent on plants. After that, we have seen how plants do photosynthesis to make the glucose or to make the energy. Plants take water and mineral from the soil and carbon dioxide from the atmosphere to make carbohydrates plus oxygen. Both the elements carbohydrate and oxygen are important for the living of the living beings. So we'll continue our chapter from here now. Bujo has observed some plants with deep red, violet or brown leaves. He wants to know whether these leaves also carry photosynthesis. So the answer of it is the other color leaves, like you have seen the maple leaves, which is on the flag of Canada. That leaf is of red color. So whether that plant or the plant of maple do the photosynthesis or not, this can be a question. But the answer of all these questions is yes, all they do photosynthesis, whether the leaves are deep red or violet or brown, it doesn't matter, because the chlorophyll is the essential element in all the plants. In most of the plant, the green color chlorophyll is shown by their leaves, but in the other color leaves like deep red leaf or violet leaf or brown color leaf, the green color or the chlorophyll is masked by these colors. Okay, that means chlorophyll is present there, but it is masked by other colors. So all they do photosynthesis. Yes, the answer is yes. Now activity 1.1. Take two potted plants of same kind, keep one in the dark for 72 hours and the other in sunlight. Perform iodine test with the leaves of both the plants as you did in class 6th. Record your result. Now leave the pot which was earlier kept in the dark and in the sunlight for 3-4 days and perform the iodine test on its leaf. Record your observation in your notebook. So student, this activity we can see by this video.
Photosynthesis is the natural process occurring in green plants that converts solar energy to chemical energy and releases oxygen into the atmosphere. Starch test is conducted to prove that sunlight is necessary for photosynthesis. Initially, destarching of some leaves is done. Some leaves of the plant to be studied are covered with a strip of paper or foil. This is done before dawn to block the sunlight. Any starch present in the plant leaves after destarching is formed under experimental conditions. The plant is then exposed to light for few days. Few uncovered, exposed leaves and leaves that were covered with foil are then detached from the plant. Starch test is then performed on the detached leaves to examine the presence of starch. Detached leaf from the plant is dipped in boiling water for 30 seconds. Boiling the leaf in water destroys the enzymes, thus prevents all the further chemical changes during the experiment. Leaf is then put in ethyl alcohol to dissolve the chlorophyll. Leaf gets decolorized due to the loss of chlorophyll pigment and becomes pale yellow in color. The decolorized leaf is then washed in water and dipped into the dilute iodine solution. Presence of starch can be detected visually by change in the leaf color. Leaf exposed to sunlight turns blue-black or bluish-purple in color, which demonstrates that the photosynthesis was going on in the leaf, therefore producing starch. On the other hand, leaf that was covered does not show any change in the color much evidently, and hence gives brown color with iodine. Since the covered leaf did not receive the sunlight, no starch is formed in it. So, it is inferred that plant manufactures starch in the presence of sunlight by the process of photosynthesis.
I hope all of you have enjoyed the video. So students, Starch test with the help of iodine, we have seen that we use ethyl alcohol, okay, to wash it, and after we dip it into the iodine solution or put some drop on the leaf of iodine solution, and it gives a blue black color. So the leaves other than green color also have chlorophyll. The large amount of red and brown and other pigment mask the green color, as we have said as the answer of Bujo's question. So photosynthesis takes place in these leaves also. You often see slimy green patches in ponds or stagnant water bodies. These are generally formed by the growth of organism called algae. So student, all of you have seen the algae, the green color patches. Okay, we'll see it later on. Can you guess why algae are green in color? They contain chlorophyll, which gives them the green color. Actually, the most of the leaves which we see around us are having chlorophyll. That is why they got a green color. So algae can also prepare their own food by the process of photosynthesis. So as many as leaves or the plants we see of green color, they do photosynthesis because their green color is due to the presence of the chlorophyll. So now students, synthesis of plant food other than carbohydrate means other than carbohydrate, other things are also needed to plant for growth, because carbohydrate is the source of energy only, okay, but the plant has to grow, okay, so for that growth they need too much of nitrogen. And you can say directly that we have studied nitrogen is 78% in our atmosphere. Plant can use it directly, but it will not happen. Why? Because atmospheric nitrogen is inert, and it do not do any reaction. So you have just learned that plants synthesize carbohydrates through the process of photosynthesis. The carbohydrates are made of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. These are used to synthesize other components of food such as protein and fats. But proteins are nitrogenous substances which contain nitrogen. So from where do the plants obtain nitrogen? So nitrogen is present in the air, but plants cannot absorb nitrogen in this form, or you can say plant cannot use it in this form. So what, how it is fixed into the plant then, how plant get the nitrogen then? Okay, so there are various methods according to the plant. Okay, so soil, in for some plant these bacteria which the soil is having, okay, they convert this gaseous nitrogen into a usable form, okay, and then release into the soil, and then those plants get it to make their proteins. So these are absorbed by the plants along with water. So also you might have seen farmers adding fertilizer rich in nitrogen to the soil. Okay, so around you, you have seen that uh, most of us are farmer families, and we have seen that our father, our grandparents are using NPK fertilizer in their fields. What is that NPK? That is nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash. Okay, so N stands for nitrogen, P for phosphorus, and K for potash. Okay, and it is written on the bag of it 46% nitrogen. Okay, student, so nitrogen is very much essential element for all the plants to grow. So in this way, the plants fulfill their requirement of nitrogen along with the other constituents. So plant can then synthesize proteins and vitamins. Now, other modes of nutrition in plants. What are those other modes? So some plants are not having chlorophyll, so they cannot synthesize food. Then how do they survive? And how, from where do they derive nutrition? Like human and animal, such plants depend on the food produced by other plants. And they are called what? They are termed as heterotrophs. And their mode of nutrition is called heterotrophic nutrition. Okay, so this in this picture you can see there's this yellow color yellow color thing is there on the plant. Okay, so this is what cascata or the amar bale which lives on the host plant. Okay, and this mode is called parasitic mode of nutrition. Okay, what they do, they directly take up their nutrition from the host plant. So this is a plant of cascata called cascata. It do not have chlorophyll. It takes ready-made food from the plant on which it is climbing, that means the host plant. Okay, and since it deprives the host of valuable nutrient, cascata is called a parasite. What is the meaning of parasite? Parasite means the one who lives on other, okay, or the one who gets the nutrient from the other plant is called parasite plants. Okay, and its mode of nutrition will be called parasitic mode of nutrition. You can say that parasitic mode of nutrition is a type of heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So are we and the other animal also a kind of parasite? No. Okay, why? Because we are holozoic. Parasitic attached are attached to the plant, and they derive their nutrition from there, and they do attached all the time with the host plant, while we are not always attached to a plant. Okay, what we do, we take up food and uh, fill our stomach, like ingestion we do. Okay, that is why our mode of nutrition will be called holozoic mode of nutrition. So you should think about it and discuss with your teacher. Okay, that we had discussed already. Now, so Paheli wants to know whether mosquito, bed bugs, lice and leeches that suck our blood are also parasites. So in the case of leeches and lice, you can say yes. Okay, so have you seen or heard of plants that can eat animal? Yes, obviously. uh, Insectivorous plant we say them. Okay, like pitcher plant. Okay, this is a pitcher plant. So there are few plants which can trap insect and digest them. Okay, so such plants, they can be green in color, okay, or cannot be green in color, it doesn't matter. So look at this one plant, pitcher plant. Okay, here is its lid, and its leaf is modified into a pitcher. Okay, the apex of the leaf forms a lid which can open and close the mouth of the pitcher. So when the insect sets on this brim, okay, on the brim of this leaf, then his feet got stuck in a sticky material over here, okay, and then this lid shuts off, and that when the insect dies, then this plant digests that insect. So inside the pitcher there are hair which are directed downwards. So when an insect lands in the pitcher, the lid closes and trapped insect gets entangled into the hair. That means he is trapped. The insect gets trapped. Okay. So the lid closes and the insect is trapped. The insect is digested by the digestive juices secreted in the pitcher, and its nutrients are absorbed. So these kind of plant are called what? Insectivorous plant. So student, is it possible that such plants do not get all the required nutrient from the soil in which they grow? Obviously, that is why they are uh, the insects to fulfill their needs. So now student, Bujo is confused. If the pitcher plant is green and carry out photosynthesis, then why does it feed on insect? Okay, so the answer of it is that they need extra nutrients to grow up. That is why they eat up the insects. So now next kind of, till now we have seen autotrophs and insectivorous and holozoic, and these kind of mode of nutrition, and parasitic mode of nutrition we have seen. Now and another type of mode of nutrition we will be studying about, that is saprotrophic mode of nutrition, and those organisms which do saprotrophic mode of nutrition are called saprotrophs. So you might have seen packets of mushroom sold in the vegetable market. Have you seen? You have eaten, I know that. So you may have also seen fluffy umbrella like patches growing in moist soil or on rotten woods during the rainy season. What they are? They are they are called fungi. So students, here you can see the two picture of fungi. One is this, it is grown on a moist soil, okay, and one is this, it has grown on a bread, a rotten bread, more likely to say. So students, Bujo wants to know how these organisms acquire nutrients. They do not have mouths like animal. They are not even green in color so that they can do photosynthesis. So how they are acquiring their nutrients? So students, these organisms acquire their nutrients by saprotrophic nutrition. And what is that saprotrophic nutrition exactly? You have seen that these grow on what? Rotten woods. Okay, so in this mode of nutrition, what happens? Organism take its nutrients from dead and decaying matter. So rotten woods is the decaying matter. The bread uh, which got this fungi is also getting rotten. Okay, so that is dead or decaying matter is providing them the essential nutrients to grow. So this is what saprotrophic nutrition. So such organisms with saprotrophic mode of nutrition are called what? Saprotrophs. So student, fungi also grow on pickles. You have seen many times leather, clothes and other articles which are left in hot and humid weather for a long time. So during rainy season they spoil many things. Okay. So ask your parents about the menace of fungi in your house. So the fungal spores are generally present in the air. So when they land on a moist and hot and moist surface, then they germinate and grow. So now can you figure out how we can protect our things from getting spoiled? So we must have to put them always dry and cold. Okay, that is why in too many things it is written that to keep in a dry and cold place. Okay, now Paheli is keen to know whether her beautiful shoes, which she wore on a special occasion, were spoiled by fungi during the rainy season. She wants to know how fungi appear suddenly during the rainy season. So the answer of it we have given, that they are always present in the air. The fungi are always present in the air, and as they get the suitable condition, the wet and warm condition, they always grow up. Now Bujo says once his grandfather told him that his wheat fields were spoiled by a fungus. He wants to know if fungi also cause diseases. So the answer is yes, they also cause diseases. In the higher classes, you will be studying about it. So Pahili told him that many fungi like yeast and mushrooms are useful, but some fungi cause diseases in plants. Animal, including humans, some fungi are also used in as medicine. So they spread the diseases, but they can also be used as medicine. So student, this is the end of our today's video. So stay tuned for the next part.